Economics is the study of how people interact together and what is the outcome of it. So if I know, as an economist, I can study how we interact together, how the institution interacts together. I can predict that, okay, in about 6 months or 8 months from now, this is what we should expect in America, because I study how people interact with one another. Okay, there are laws. There are so many laws. I'm not going to go through all that. So, now, when it comes to the systems of the world, and for the economics, the way they organize it is into three. The land, number one. Number two is the labor. And number three is the capital. So every economic system to any country, this is what they study. They study the land. They study the labor, that's human resources, and they study capital. Now you need to understand now I'm getting into the Bible right now. Mm-hmm. The land is the God creation. Okay? The labor is the God creation. Okay? But the capital is a human creation. Now you understand why Jesus said that the love of money is the root of all evil. Because the real blessing is not in the capital. It's in what God has blessed. It's what God has blessed that is blessed. The land has been blessed by God. Human has been blessed by God. But capital was created by man. So if we don't put the capital into the right place, it becomes a curse. Because everything that has not been blessed is a curse. It's bipolar. You're either blessed or cursed. There's no middle ground. So the economics now is the study of the land, the labor, and the capital. Now, why is it that we in the church, when we fail to understand this, we are not blessed? Because we focus on the blessings in the money. No, this is not real how we blessed. We are blessed when we understand that money is a tool for transaction. But blessings is in the land. It's in the animals. It's in the ground and the underground, the farming, the real blessing, the real people that we should honor in the land, in any country. They are not the people on Wall Street. They don't produce nothing. These are the farmers. These are the people who actually give us what we eat to live. These were supposed to be the richest people on the land. But we have created a system where the richest are those who are close to the capital. But the capital is not a blessing. $100 bill, to produce it costs about 4 cents. The value of $100 bill is only in the trust that we put in it, but it has no value. You can't do nothing. Because you trust it, that I can go and give it to you and you give me something of value. You have to flip that in our mind to put value where value belongs. Come on. So you cannot be blessed by God if you consider money more than people. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Come on, it's a good word.
If you really want to align your mind with the blessings of the Lord, you need to understand that God created what? Man created what we see. The animals and the fish and the soil and everything, and He created man to take care of those. So money is simply something to help us to do the transaction. Maybe you're farming potatoes. I do maybe a different crop, and we need to exchange to facilitate it. We created money. All right. Now this is for the mindset. I just summarize it for kingdom economics. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning that economics is the study of land, capital, and labor. Okay? In the world, they don't recognize that the land is created by God. They don't recognize that human beings are created by God, and they just mix them all together. But with God, when He created everything, the Bible said He blessed them and say multiply. He created man and woman, and the Bible said He blessed them and say multiply. So these are the spoken blessings from God, is over land and over labor. Does that make any sense? Yeah. All right. That was the introduction of kingdom economics. That was the introduction. So you can see here the land, the ground, and the underground is a God creation, and is the first. That was the first thing that God blessed. Then He created man and blessed them as well. Capital is the creation of man. It's not the creation of God. God never created dollars, never created euro, never created any of these currencies. These are man creation. It's necessary for transaction. I'm not saying that we should not take care of it, no. But we all need that. Now, when you understand how God has blessed and established things, you will see how you make capital will flow easily to you. Because now the design of God is that when you understand the blessing mindset of God, you're not supposed to run after capital. But capital comes to you. That's why Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. You don't seek money. You understand what I'm saying? So when you seek the kingdom, everything else is added. So we have to have that mindset. Okay. Now, when you talk about a kingdom, the first thing in the kingdom is the culture. So what is a kingdom? The kingdom is a domain of people that are characterized by something and they want to live together. They create what is called a kingdom. So to take back the example of Americans, they really wanted freedom. That's what they wanted. They wanted freedom. And they came and created and founded a country where people will be free to do whatever they want. And because of that, because the heart of man longed after freedom, this attracted the best mind of the planet and made America what it is today. Freedom, that was the pursuit. Now, the culture then, if we come back to culture in America is a culture of freedom. You know, when you look at when the culture can be found into what is there, how they call it, the freedom and the pursuit of happiness. So people are driven, like nowhere in the world, people are driven by freedom and they want to be happy. Okay, now let me go back to the blessing now as the culture of the kingdom. A kingdom is characterized by the culture. What is the culture? The culture is the way of life. It's the lenses by which we see and appreciate and understand the world. You know, the same thing, this phone means different to you than to somebody else. And the only difference is the lenses by which you see it. Okay, I will tell you a story so you understand culture very well. This happened in Ghana. It's a true story. Okay, there is an American went to vacation in Ghana. It's a true story. And he was fishing. And he found a Ghanaian local fisherman. He was fishing. And that guy was catching fish and he was throwing back into the water and look at it and throwing back. And finally he went back home. He caught only 3. He took only 3 with him. And when he was about to go, the American friend stopped him and said, why do you spend the whole day and you only go home with 3 fish? He said, no, that's the only thing I need. I don't need more than 3. That's more than enough for me and my family. And the American asked him and said, don't you know that you can actually catch all those fish and sell it and make some money? And the Ghanaian guy said, how? And he said, okay, well, you can sell these fish and get some money, and you get a boat. When you get a boat, you fish now in great quantity, and then you make more money. And the Ghanaian man was still asking, then what? I said, no, when you get now a big boat, you have people, they will be working for you, and then you grow the company, you become rich. And the Ghanaian guy asks again, so what? And then what? The guy said, and then when you have all this, now you can relax, and then you can go and take a vacation, and you can go and fish. And the Ghanaian guy said, what do you think I'm having now? You understand?
Yeah.
So both of them had different culture. So that culture, the guy conceived life as a vacation. But in the other culture, the other guy conceived vacation as a reward. Do you understand? Do you see the difference now? Does that make sense what I'm saying? I just want you to understand the culture, because if we got the culture wrong, we don't have economics. If we don't have the right mindset about culture, we don't have economics. So the culture is the way of life, the lenses by which we see life, the lenses by which we appreciate life. In some culture, people are so attached to money. Like fame in America, it's the cultural thing. People want to be famous. People want to be famous. And if you, as a preacher, you don't understand culture, then you don't understand that you're actually functioning under a culture that you should be delivered from, because we will talk about the culture of the kingdom. The moment you receive the call from God, the first thing that you have in mind, what can I do to become famous? Because that is the mindset, that is the culture of the place. The most difficult thing to overcome in a Christian life is the culture, it's not the sin. Sin is the culture. When you don't have the right cultural mindset, your life will be victimized by the society. Does that make sense? You need to have the right mindset when it comes to culture. Another example, again, the battle is in the culture. The battle is in the culture. Now, culture is everything. The way you understand culture is how we, human beings, interact with the world. We have 5 senses. All the science of the 5 senses are the science that dictate the culture. What you eat, how you dress, what you listen to.
Sorry about that.
Okay. What you listen to, we're going to take a break. I think very soon, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to stop for the break. What you listen to, what you see, what you eat, that is what makes the culture. Okay? So our life is governed by our 5 senses. Our 5 senses was given by God to apprehend and appreciate life. So the culture is what makes you, how you get the culture into you is through your 5 senses. What you watch, what you touch, what you eat, what you listen to. So what your 5 senses interact brings the culture into you. Now, when it comes to the kingdom of God, the culture is blessing. I will show it to you. Again, the culture is actually the identity of a people, of a class of people. What the culture of America is what characterizes Americans. The culture of Africans is what characterizes Africans. So what should characterize the Christians is blessing. Now I'll explain. To understand God and the purpose of God is to look at what He does first when He establishes something. When God created the man, the Bible said the first thing that he did, he blessed them and say multiply. When God created the fish and the birds and the animals, the Bible said he blessed them and say multiply. So that's the first mindset of God when it comes to the affairs of men, is to release blessings into them. And what is blessing? Blessings is simply spoken word releasing divine virtues into human's affair. There are things that only God can do, and for him to do it, he has to speak. And when you speak it, you bring to manifestation what only God could do. That's what is called blessing. The only way men and women are able to multiply is through the virtues of blessing, the spoken blessings of the Lord over them. Does that make sense? All right. Let's go to the break. Okay.